Hello. So we're going to make some barbecue cauliflower wings. I've done a video before on making buffalo cauliflower wings in the air fryer, but you can do it barbecue also. And you don't have to use an air fryer. You can use the oven. We're going to use the oven today. A lot of people don't have an air fryer or their air fryer is small, which is why I'm using the oven, because it would take me about 4 rounds to do it in my air fryer. So you don't need a lot for this. This is going to be a simple recipe. You can substitute any spices I use. Basically, all you need is some cauliflower ripped up into little drumsticks size, some flour, just any all-purpose flour, some barbecue. I'm using honey barbecue, so mine's not vegan, it's vegetarian because it's got honey in it. And you can put some spices, whatever you got in your spice rack, in the flour. You don't have to put any, you can just use your barbecue sauce. I'm going to put a pinch of cumin, a lot of paprika, and some garlic salt, because I love garlic salt, in the flour. And that's all you need. And you don't have to use any of this. You just put salt in the flour and then barbecue, or nothing in the flour and barbecue. The barbecue will still make it good. So let's get started. So preheat your oven at about 400 degrees and get it hot. Take a big bowl, put some flour in it, get some dip. Alright, and then I'm going to add a bunch of paprika to that. Not that much. Whatever you feel like. Add some garlic salt. A little bit of cumin goes a long way, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some of that on there. I'm gonna mix that up a little bit. It looked like a lot, but for the amount of flour I have, it wasn't that much. Smell that cumin. Alright. Now, you can use almond milk, but you don't have to. I'm keeping this simple. I'm just going to use water on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my cauliflower a little bit, train it, and then I'm going to toss it in the flour. So let me do that real quick. Alright, so I put a little water in this pan just to get it a little wet here. Toss it around in there a little bit in the water. Alright. Now before I go moving that in here, I'm going to coat my hands with a little bit of this flour while it's still dry. That's just to keep it from sticking to me too much. And you should spray your pans maybe with some cooking spray. I already did, just to keep it from sticking later. Alright, so we'll take this, a couple handfuls over here. I'm going to put in this flour mixture. I'm going to toss it around. Get a good coat on it. Alright, then I'm going to put them in my pan. A little excess flour I'm not worried about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it in just the flour at first. About 30-40 minutes. I'm going to do it probably about 35. And then I'm going to pull it out, and I'll get rid of the extra flour out of the pan and stuff, and I'm going to take these pieces and then I'm going to toss it in this bowl with some barbecue sauce and bake it probably another 30 minutes or so. So I want these to be about 1 layer thick in here. And you can see that flour sticks pretty good just with a little bit of water. Now, if you want it extra crispy, the way a lot of people traditionally do extra crispy stuff is they would toss this and then they would wet it again, usually in almond milk or something like that, or you could probably do water again. And then you would toss it again in flour. That way you get 2 coatings. I'm just doing 1 coating, that's enough for these. But if you want them extra crispy, you could. I'm going to split these in 2 pans so they cook good and quick. That's a bit. Like I said, I'm not too worried about a little bit of extra flour right now. I'll get that later. If I had a convection oven, I would worry about that extra bit of flour. It would blow everywhere, but it's fine. For my cheap oven. Alright. Alright, so I got them laid out here. Put them in the oven. Let them cook a while. Alright, we'll come back in about 35 minutes and then we'll straighten them up in there, get that excess flour off, and toss them in some barbecue. Alright, be right back. So that's been 30 minutes. So that should have the flour stuck to the cauliflower wings good enough to do the next spot. So what I did is I rinsed out my bowl that I had the flour in so I could toss in the barbecue. Let's pull these out. And I'm working on some corn to cook with this, so I'll leave it away. Alright. So I'm going to pull these out. A little crispy, but not super crispy yet. We'll put them all in a bowl. Alright. So I got all my cauliflower. Alright, and I'm only going to use one of these pans, so I'll have to I'm just going to use a new pan here. I'm going to take this, I'm just going to pour all the barbecue in it. Get it all out of there. Then if you want, you can add a little drop of water and shake it in here. The bottle to get the last little bit out, which is what I'm going to do. And you can use whatever sauce you want. Mix that all up. Just get you a wooden spoon or any kind of spoon. Tossed real good, just where you don't see any of the white flour really. Alright, spray the pan. It's a new pan. Spread that out. It's starting to look almost like chicken now, isn't it? Then I'm going to bake it in that for another 30 minutes or so, depending on how crispy you want it. If you have a convection oven, it'll be a lot quicker. Get all that sauce out. Alright. Still at 400. Throw it back in there and cook it longer. It's been about 35 minutes, 35. And here we are. barbecue cauliflower wings baked in the oven. They look good. They're still a little soft. If you want them crispier, cook them longer. I like mine a little soft. But it's all pretty. Have it with corn, vegetables, whatever you want it with. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye. And here it is after about an hour of work, about an hour of cooking all together. Having mine on some corn. Looks good. Alright, bye.